Hey guys, I'm back again. This time I want to do a summer book haul for you guys. Accumulated quite a few books over these summer months, the last like 3 or 4 months. I just have been kind of picking some up, and I haven't really done any individual book hauls with these books because most times it's been only picking up 1 or 2 books at a time every 2 or 3 weeks. It's been really sporadic, so I just decided to gather up everything and then show you guys right now all at once because I do have quite a few books, but you'll see if I had broken them up, there wouldn't be really enough to do individual book hauls. And this might not be all of my books that I've gotten during the summer. I tried to get the ones that I remember, that I know I've gotten over the summer. There might be a few that I've forgotten because I haven't been keeping track, and maybe ones that I got in like May or June, I might have forgotten by now that I've picked up. So this might not be all of them, but these are the ones that I remember that I've gotten. And if I do have any more that I remember later on, I will include them in a later book haul. I will just jump right into it. I don't know necessarily the dates or orders I got all of these, so I'm just going to kind of tell you guys, and if I remember when I got them, I will let you guys know. Otherwise, I don't know. So, during one trip to the Goodwill this summer, I picked up Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This book was 99 cents, as you can see. And I don't really know what it's about. I've heard a lot about Brandon Sanderson on BookTube, and I know that it's like a fantasy, and this is a standalone. And I want to try and get more into adult fantasy. I like Harry Potter. I like Aragon. The only fantasies I've really read have been like young adult or children's, whatever you would classify those as. Like Chronicles of Narnia is another example. So I did like fantasy genre when I was younger, and I haven't read anyone as an adult. I do have Game of Thrones. I haven't started it yet. I have the first 3 books, but I'm just really intimidated, and I don't want to start it yet. So I'm going to try and start with this one since I've heard amazing things about Brandon Sanderson. And this is a standalone, so I don't have to make a huge commitment. That's another problem I have with fantasies, is that they're usually series that are ridiculously long, and I just don't want to make the time commitment. But let's see how this one is. And if you guys have read this, let me know down below what you thought. Another book I picked up was The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. This is the sequel to The Cuckoo's Calling, and I did a buddy read of The Cuckoo's Calling with Janie from Bookworm's Buddy, and I really enjoyed that one, and we're going to read the second one next month. And so when I finished the first one, I picked this one up. And also, on that same trip, I picked up this book of The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. It's a pop-up book. This was brand new, $3. It was on the clearance rack and half-price books, and it was wrapped in plastic, so it hadn't even been opened yet. And I was just really intrigued by it, and I love Stephen King, and so I had to pick it up. And I tried to keep the plastic on, but I have no willpower, and I couldn't. But I'll show you guys. This is really awesome. I love this book. It pops out like this, and then here's some of the story. Here's another part of the story. This pops out. This is a little book that, okay, this is hard to keep open. This is a little book, like it's telling the story on these little papers, and then they flip like this, and you can read it. And then like this thing pulls out. What does this do? Oh, the hand moves. Road trip. So I tried to read part of it. I haven't finished it yet because I have read this book already. I just haven't read the pop-up version of this book. And I'll show you another page. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'll show you another page. And this flips open like that. And this, I cannot see. Sorry, guys. This again has these little books. Little pages. This one flips upwards instead of sideways. And another page. So every single page, this one's kind of cool. There's a window right here. Every single page pops up, and so there's not that many pages. This was a really short Stephen King book, the actual novel. So this is perfectly suitable for a pop-up because it's really, really short. So let me know, you guys, if you have ever seen this book or any other Stephen King pop-up books. I didn't even know that these pop-up books of his existed, to be honest. I don't know if there's any other books of his that are pop-ups. So if you know, Janie, maybe, do you know? Have you seen this before? Let me know. Another book I picked up, probably used Bookstore, is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I didn't really like The Ocean at the End of the Lane. It was alright. I think I gave it like 3 stars. I liked his writing, I just didn't really like the story in general, so I wanted to give him another shot. I'm not really sure what this one is about again, but I will pick it up. I also picked up Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. As you can see, it was $5.99. I've heard a lot about her as a new adult author. I've never read any new adult, and this was the only book of hers that they had. But I figured because everybody talks about her, I would give her a shot. And along with Neverwhere, along with this book, I picked up from the same bookstore, I picked up The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. I think it's an adult novel, and one guy, a man, wakes up and finds a white crane outside of his window that's shot with an arrow, and then he saves a bird, he removes the arrow, and then the next day a beautiful woman walks through his shop, and she kind of has an impact on his life and changes his life. I kind of can already figure out what happens just from the back. But it sounds really interesting. I thought that A Monster Calls was alright. I did appreciate the illustrations in there. It was decent though, so I'm going to give this one a shot. And then during that trip, I also picked up 3 Mitch Albom books. So I read The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom, and I really loved it. That was one of the most amazing books I have ever read. And I haven't seen that movie, but I have seen The 5 People You Meet in Heaven and also Tuesdays with Morrie. And I really, really liked both of those movies. And so that's what made me pick up The Timekeeper, because it was by him and I loved it. So then I went to the Goodwill and was hoping I would find more books by him. And I did, and I don't really know what 2 of these are about. They were cheap. They were $1.99 each. And so I had to pick them up because it was Mitch Albom, and I, loved that book. This is For One More Day. Just one sentence on the back. If you had the chance, just one chance, to go back and fix what you did wrong in life, would you take it? And if you did, would you be big enough to stand it? So that sounds pretty good. This is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I watched this movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I'll like the book. And I also got The First Phone Call from Heaven. I don't know how this is going to be. I'm not really religious, but The Timekeeper had a little bit of religious elements in it, and I loved it. So I figured I would give this one a try. I think this one actually was $1 because this is paperback. These 2 are hardback, so they were $1.99. I was looking for Tuesdays with Morrie. They didn't have it, but I think that these will hold me off for a little while. The next book I've got is Garden of Shadows by V.C. Andrews. I read the entire Flowers in the Attic series, the Dollenganger series, and I really enjoyed the first 2 books. After that, they kind of went downhill. I didn't hate them, but I figured I'm almost done with the series at this point. I might as well finish it. This is the last book in the series, but it's technically like the sequel. So the grandma in the Flowers in the Attic, they live in the grandma's house after they move. After their father dies, they move into this house with their grandma, and they get locked in the attic, and that's what the story is about. So this is the grandma's story and how she came to be how she was, and why she was kind of so evil. And I think it's supposed to be from this is her perspective, so you look at her as not really an evil person. You see why she is that way, and kind of, I guess you see kind of a justification of it. So I'm not sure how this one's going to be. I think I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but this is the last I need to finish for the series. I'm just going to do it. Another couple books. I got this from Paperback Swap, so it was free. It was The Bookstore by Deborah Myler. It sounded really cute. This is on my wish list. It's a book about somebody who owns a bookstore, kind of like Mr. Penumbra. I like those books, so that's really all I need to know about that. Okay, this is Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. I'm not sure where I picked this one up. And I've read a lot of her books. I'm trying to get through all of hers. This is one I have not yet read. There's that one. This is, again, I got from Goodwill, Chocolat by Joanne Harris. I saw this movie with Johnny Depp. I first saw it a long time ago, and I really enjoyed that movie. It's just a really sweet movie about, they're in France, and this lady owns a chocolate shop, and the character who played Johnny Depp and the owner of the chocolate shop, I think, fall in love. It just seems like a really cute contemporary book, and I really enjoyed the movie, so I wanted to try that. And then the last book is David Sedaris's Naked. I've never read anything by him, although I have another one, Engulfed in Flames one or something. I picked it up because it's a signed copy. I don't really know much about it. I just wanted to try his books, and I know that he writes like funny, maybe kind of, I don't know if they're satires, but they're kind of like humorous comedy books. So I thought I would try it. That's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you've read any of these books, and we'll start a discussion below. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.